Hi everyone, it's me again. I am back to talk about my printer that I bought in, I think it was November last year, early November last year. I thought that I had to buy a printer because running to Staples every time I needed to print something was very inconvenient and was, of course, expensive. So I did a little research, asked around, Google, stuff like that, and I settled on this printer here, Epson Inkjet 2650, and it has proven to be very, very, what should I say, very, not only helpful, but it has saved me a lot of money. And this particular one is an A4 printer. So it's only going to print, the largest papers or whatever that it can print on is A4 size, which is fine for me. And talking about that, I haven't really prepared this video. I'm just going to wing it. If I need to print, for example, papers for a bigger journal that's bigger than A4, I'll print 2 pages, A4, and I'll stick them together and cut them to whatever size that I need. So, and when you put 2 A4 pages together, you get the size A3. So they are A3 size printers, but those were for me a bit too pricey. So I had to settle on the Epson Inkjet 2650, and it is serving me very, very well. I've also printed a lot. And when I was buying this printer, they said that the ink would last you about 2 years. So you wouldn't have to keep replacing the ink, which is the most expensive element of any printer. Next to buying it, I guess. Depends on what type you buy. I will just show you something. I have been printing and my daughter, I don't know how she did it, but she printed a piece of paper that showed me how many colored prints, how many colored printouts I had done, and how many black and white, etc. The most obviously was color, and it had come, that was in late December, and it was up to 982, if I'm not mistaken. So I've printed about 982 colored pages in color, and they're always like this. So it's always full color. So not just some black and white writing in a little colored spot at the end or something. No, it's always like this, as stuff like this, what I've been printing, and also stuff like this as well. And the ink, I will show you the ink. Just have to take you on a small journey here. Sorry about my fingers and thumbs in the way, but let me go slowly. So this is where we're at today. Okay, so normally the ink comes, I hope I'm in focus. The ink comes up to here, right? So I think this is the black ink. This is blue. This is, I don't know, pink or red, and this is magenta, they call it. And I think that after printing over 982 copies, I'm still just here. So in my mind, in my opinion, it's really, really worth it too. I was surprised. So I have to replace this magenta here, which I will do maybe later on in the week. And in Germany, the one bottle of ink refill costs €9.99, so basically 10 euros. So I'll just, and you can buy them individually, you don't have to buy them in a pack. So I've already bought one. I'm gonna refill this and wait on the other ones. As you can see, this is almost full. So it's this one, and this one is because I move the printer to get here, but it's just over here. That's why it shows a bit up here. But otherwise, that's what I have. Well, that's how low the ink is after, I would say now, 1,000 copies in full color. That's how much it is. And I'll just show you the printer a little bit if you can see in this light. This is what it is. It's also a scanner and it also photocopies. And it's very easy to use. Okay, so let me put you back up here. Just a second, guys. Bear with me. 1 second. Am I in focus? Yeah. And I I film on my ironing board. It's the only thing that's adjustable and come up to a reasonable height that I can deal with, or that my back can deal with. So what else? So this is the name of the printer. I've printed about 1,000 by now, 1,000 copies in color, like this. And I have to replace the magenta, because I think I have to replace it because I print a lot of dark colors like this. I think that's why. And let me just pause this for a second. And I'm back. Yes, it's playing. So this is the refillable ink that I bought. The ink refillable. Anyway, this is the thing here. So there are only 4 colors. The printer only takes 4 colors, but you get all this amazing stuff. And this, as I was talking about earlier, is €9.99, effectively 10 euros. And this is what you get. So just open it, tip it over, and refill the ink. There are a lot of videos on YouTube showing you how to do that. So I won't do that right now. I also learned, I guess, I mean, I didn't know this. People might watch this and say, gosh, how dumb are you? But I didn't know that, that there's a difference between an inkjet, which is what my printer is, an inkjet, and a laser jet. So I'll show you these and what the difference is for my line of work. This I printed at Staples and they use laser jet. Sorry. And this paper you can dip it, it's printed on, and then you can dip it into coffee, and the color will not run. It will stay as is, and it'll just get, coffee dyed. But, and I learned this, this is actually quite funny. If you print with an inkjet and you try and do the same thing, of course the ink is going to run because it's an inkjet. Laser jet printers actually, what's the word? Oh my gosh, what's the word? I forgot. But laser printers actually, like, what is the word? I've forgotten it. But it's different from what laser jets do. So even if you soak this in coffee, water, whatever, the colors don't run. But inkjet paper or printers, whatever you print from an inkjet, this is what's going to happen, you see. And this is actually this one. Yes, this I printed with the inkjet, and this is printed with laser jet, and it's the same. I coffee dyed this, and you can see what happens. Nothing happens to this one. A lot happens to that one. So that was just one thing that you need to know. Because I, as I said, I like to, you can't have a plain back, so I like to coffee dye my papers, but I can't do that anymore. What I just simply do is I buy, I have digitals of, digital coffee dye paper, and I print that at the back, or I print something like this. So I print in the front, what I like, and then not to have a plain white back or whatever, I print something on it as well. Just turn it around in the printer. And also, what else do I need to say? For example, this is talking about the ink, back to the inkjet printer. This is a 90-gram paper. So when you print with an inkjet, the ink somehow seeps through, or at least you can see the ink on the other side. I don't know if the camera can pick this up, but you can see the petals of the rose and the rose flower here. So this is another thing that you need to know before you purchase an inkjet, is that the colors do come through on the other side. So what I do is I print on heavier paper. So I print on 120-gram paper, which is this one here, right? And if you turn it over, you cannot see too much of it doesn't go through. So that's another thing. So if you print on very thin, like 80-gram paper, it is gonna show through, or 90-gram paper even shows through. So I print on 120-gram paper. And so the different ways you can print is, of course, print the whole page. You will always have a border, and what I just do is just cut it. I just trim it down. You will always have a border, because I guess if the thing that prints runs to the end, is gonna catch, and well, it's just gonna be a mess in there. It's gonna jam the printer all the time. So it just prints from here to here, so it doesn't go from side to the extreme side to the other. So you have a border, and so you can print a whole A4 page. You can go to your, I always use my phone. I've downloaded the Epson iPrint onto my phone, and I use my phone all the time. I use Wi-Fi and I print in that way. So you can print a whole page, or you can print two different pages on the same paper. So you will have a border all around the two. Or you can print, you can divide, these are 4 different digital pages, but you can print all 4 on one A4 sheet, like so. And this is how I get my journal cards. I don't know why the camera is shaking. That's very weird. Yeah, so that's how I get my journal cards. I just cut them down to journal card size. And what else did I want to show you? Let me show you. This is I've just borrowed my husband's phone because I'm filming with my phone. So what you do is you go into your phone, and then this is the Epson iPrint icon. You download it from the Play Store. It's free. So let's say you want to print, so you open it, and then this is what you get. This is in German, but obviously you get the English version. And if you want to print photos or documents and stuff, you press this accordingly. Let's say you want to print a photo, right? Let me just find one. Let me see what photos my husband has in here. Oh. Okay, this is, yeah, this is me, by the way. So let's say you want to, okay, let me go back. So let's say you want to print this photo. So we press on it, and then we will select it. This is select, so select it, and then we'll say continue, and then it will come up this now. So if I'm going to just print this straight, this is what I would get on the whole A4 page, right? But then if you want to print, for example, like this, 2 different photos on one page, I will select 2 photos, and then I'll go to settings, which is this the wheel there. Oh gosh, it's all unfortunately in German. And then I'll choose the layout, right? It's the same in English as well, layout. And then you'll have the different options ×2. So if you press ×2, right? Let's say you're finished, fertig. And then you say this is print. You press this. Oh yeah, it won't work. Anyway, but that is this is some of the stuff you can do. So just this is settings, and this is where you're going to get all the different options. And this is of course where you're going to choose how many copies you want. If you want it in A4, A3, B4, etc., letter size, etc. So you can get smaller, but the biggest paper you can print on is A4, as I said. And what else do we have here? And also the number of pages. Let's say you have 14 pages and you just want to print page 2, etc., or page 3. You can also choose that from the settings option here. It's not so hard. Really, it's not. If I can do it, anyone can do it, because I'm hopeless, absolutely hopeless with technical stuff. And that's I told my husband to buy a what is this? A cover. He didn't. The phone fell and it, of course, cracked. I think that's all I have for today. If anyone has any questions, I'll be very, very, very happy to answer them. No problem, because I had so many questions, and sometimes you don't get all the answers on Google on stuff that maybe people who make junk journals would like to ask. You can't really find those answers on Google and stuff like that. Not what I've searched for, where I've searched. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask. I'll be happy to answer them. And I hope this was somehow informative. And I am certain I've forgotten to say something, but yeah. Until the next time, thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.